Guys, deluded, obviously we've had the Champions League draw and there's the Europa League draw today. Now, obviously, if you're an Arsenal fan, the only one that really interests us in this draw for the last 32 is who Arsenal got. So now we have a trip to Sweden, going to Ostersund. I cannot say that name and I've probably said it wrong, but I've tried. Yeah, man. The first leg is on the 15th of February, I believe, and the return leg, or wherever it is on the 22nd of February. So, yeah, last 32. Ideally, any team that's going to be serious about the Champions League has to get into the Champions League via the top four, and that's still what I'm aiming for. It's still mathematically possible. If people fix up, this can happen. But you've also got to be very pessimistic about our chances of getting that when you see what we're doing away from home. So the Europa League is an avenue we have to take seriously. I've been saying we have to take seriously when we get out the group stages, and an avenue we need to keep open. I don't really care much for it, but that's the token at the end of the day. I don't necessarily know if we'll win it or have what it takes to win it, but I'm an Arsenal fan and I hope we do it. And we've had a kind draw. We could have got harder teams, but again, complacency. We cannot just turn up to Sweden and welcome them to the Emirates and think just because you're a small club, just because Wenger has been the Arsenal manager longer than this club has been alive / existing. He took over in September '96. This team opened in October '96, so he's bigger than the club essentially. We can't expect to just win this. Yeah, man, we can't expect to just win this. And you'd like to think, what more? This is what makes me think it's rigged sometimes, because what are the chances? Of course, when you look at it, it's just a Swedish club, a relatively small Swedish club. It doesn't. We could have got anyone, and we got them. But when you scratch under the surface, Graham Potter, the coach, the only English manager still in European football. Credit to him. He's doing his thing. He's taken that club from the 4th tier of that division to the top division and Europa League when they beat Galatasaray. So he needs to be held, given mad credit. Not only that, they had Bilbao, Hertha Berlin. Of course, Hertha Berlin's not the biggest and hardest of clubs, but you'd think Bilbao, Hertha Berlin, and then this club you've never heard of, you'd think that Hertha Berlin and Hertha Berlin and Bilbao are the ones that go through, but no, credit to them. They finished second in the group, got 3 wins. I'm pretty sure they even beat Hertha Berlin. So they're people we can't underestimate. Their manager has done a madness. Like I said, 4th division to the 1st division, recruiting players that have been released from York City and all of these players in the backwaters of football. Of English football, and he's using them to great effect. I actually rate how much of a community spirit he's got. They've made plays, they go out to the community, and if you look at where they're actually situated, it's not the most liveliest of places. It's Sweden, but it's more like going towards Norway, so it's freezing, it's snowy, and things like that, and it is tough getting players there, to be honest. He's relatively young. I believe he's in his 40s, but he retired from playing as a manager from his playing career around his 30s. He was a former Stoke player and West Bromwich Albion, and yeah, man, he actually had a very unconventional route into the thing, man. He was an ex-pro, but he's been a former university lecturer. Prior to this, yes, he had minor coaching and managerial roles, but the only real one was with uni development squad. So going from coaching university sides to playing against Arsenal in an official European competition deserves my ratings and deserves your ratings too. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. They've gone from around 783 fans traveling and things like that to now 6K. That's a madness. That's a madness. Their ground's got around 8,000 or 8.4 capacity, so that's not the biggest. One thing we need to remember, it's going to be freezing when we go over there. It's going to be -8, and so it even gets worse apparently. So I ain't going, but it's not gonna be one where we can just expect to turn up, play football, and bust out. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be hard, and I don't know which clash comes first, the home or away. But we've got to put this to bed. It'll be fantastic for these players to come to the Emirates. I know playing in Europa League, they've gone Bilbao and played at several good grounds, but excluding any friendlies they may have played that I don't have knowledge of. This is the best ground they're going to play at. This is where you dream of playing as a kid, grounds like this, in front of things like this. And for an English manager with English players in that side, it's going to be a fantastic spectacle. And yes, we'd be expected to actually... I'm actually expecting a landslide. I say expecting lightly, because what should and what actually happens with Arsenal, how many times we've seen they're two different things. The golf in talent is mad, but we can't underestimate them. They've shown in the group they cannot be underestimated. They've beaten Galatasaray. Okay, Galatasaray might not be the biggest size, but you'd expect Galatasaray with their fans and their knowing and their global footprint as a football team, you'd expect them to beat this side. The underdog status is a big thing. They've got nothing to lose, so they're going to be fearless. So complacency cannot creep into our game by any stretch of the imagination. There's not really that much more to be said on them. Like I said, it's a remarkable story for the manager of Ostersund, or however you say their name. I think I've written it wrong. Forgive me, I'm not trying to disrespect them. But yeah, there's not much more to be said. And if I say anything more, I'm waffling. But guys, DG, hit the like button for me, hit the subscribe button for me. Thank you very much as well. Some of you that always message me about Investor Trade. Those of you not involved in Investor Trade, online platform from Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies all the way to Forex. If you're interested, and teaching classes and things like that, if that's up your street, Investor Trade, I'll keep the link down there in the description. Investor Trade, discount code DeludeGuna04. So yeah, man, if that's what you're on, hit that up, man. And love for the ones that have been hitting it up. But anyways, DG, I'm out.